Next is Marvel News number 122. Marvel Man. Oh, Marvel Man. We're going to talk about Marvel Man and how the road has been cleared for everything you'd ever want to see with Marvel Man to come your way. Also, we're going to talk about Mark Millar and Steve McNiven's Nemesis, when the next sequel is coming out. It's been delayed, but we've got a date for when the sequel's coming out. And we're going to wrap it up with talking about Marvel Now, Point One, coming soon to a television screen near you. All that and more coming right up. Hey, you want to save 20% off of everything in the store? Then show up on the 20th of every month, because the 20th is Founders Day here at Alternate Reality. And on Founders Day, everything except this week's new comics and bulk supplies is 20% off. That's right, every single thing in the store is 20% off every 20th here at Alternate Reality.
Something smells kind of funny, and I think it's the Marvel News.
We know more about comics than anyone. Well, we're proud anyway. Marvel News, episode 122, Cringe Town.
Hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. It's time for
Marvel Miracle News!
Marvel Miracle News! I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Which is coming from this place, Alternate Reality, which is located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all my new comics, especially on my Marvel comics, are always 15% off every day for everyone, including my Marvel comics, including Miracle Man, if Marvel ever gets off its butt and actually publishes the book. Bo?
Yes?
What's going on with Miracle Man? Why is it taking so long to get this book off the road?
As Marvel has said to anyone who asks, we want to make sure everything is nailed down and completely, dotted and crossed and set before we start publishing stuff, and then all of a sudden someone comes back and sues us. Now, the biggest obstacle has dropped out of the way. Todd McFarlane had a trademark registration for Miracle Man.
Yes, he did.
He did renew it. That means it's free. Marvel bought it. Marvel now has a trademark registration. Marvel also, after we found out that Todd decided to let it go, Marvel paid Mick Engel $1 million for the rights to Marvel Man.
Really?
$1 million.
You mean Miracle Man?
Miracle Man. Well, Miracle Man, Marvel Man,
the book was originally Marvel Man back in the 50s. Right. Then it was changed to Miracle Man because of course,
Marvel went, we're going to sue you because you're using the name Marvel.
Back in the 80s
when they first. It's not the Miracle Man that.
No, it's still Miracle Man.
It's the same one.
Same one. Okay.
It's the same one that Alan Moore and everyone else worked on.
It was Marvel Man before Marvel Comics. So Marvel Comics came along. They changed it to Miracle Man in the 80s when they brought it back. When Alan Moore brought it back.
Eclipse brought it back.
And Eclipse brought it, and then Eclipse started reprinting it and doing new stories here. And it's been Miracle Man up until now that Marvel owns it. It can go back to being
Marvel Man because he did the promo things. He was Marvel Man. But I mean, I was amazed at the fact that they paid Engel $1 million. But if you think about it, they could make $1 million on it.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Because you figure, they're already reprinting the Engel stuff, which people are buying. Although most people go, I don't know who this is, but it's Marvel Man, and I want to get it.
Was that the Alan Moore stuff?
No, that's the Mick Engel. That's the stuff from the 50s.
Okay.
The stuff is the Alan Moore, Gary Leach, Neil Gaiman, Mark Buckingham stuff. None of that stuff, you can't find that stuff anywhere unless you happen to have it.
Yeah.
You can't even get the trades on eBay.
Yeah.
And so if you think of all that stuff which you can now recolor, better paper, repackage, ship out, posters, you can pop them up in a movie, whatever, you're probably going to make $1 million.
You will see a Marvel Man movie before you will see a Captain Marvel Shazam movie.
Yes, you will. From
DC. Yeah. At the rate DC moves, the glacially, DC Entertainment moves, you will see a Marvel Man movie long before that.
Could you imagine going...
If they decide to do one.
They're going to do one. They're doing Guardians.
Marvel.
They're doing Guardians of the Galaxy, for Christ's sake.
They're doing Ant-Man for Christ's
sake. Yeah, they're doing Ant-Man. Yeah, the little animatic thing they did. You can see they're going to clean that up so that you can actually look at it. So yeah, you're going to see it. Can you imagine going to a theater to see, Marvel Man versus Kid Marvel Man and heads being crushed and the destruction of London and the world? Yeah. That would be a hell of a movie.
I'll bet you $5 when they do it, they move it to New York.
Oh yeah, probably move it to New York City. And can you imagine?
Marvel Man will no longer be a British character; he will be an American character.
The first thing that's going to happen when all this is all said and done is Gaiman and Mark Buckingham are going to finish the stuff that they were planning on doing, which they never got around to doing. Those scripts are still there, and Buckingham has said he quite clearly wants to draw them. And there's got to be a ton of creators out there. If you get people wanting to do before Watchmen, imagine you get a chance to do Marvel Man.
So McFarlane, the financial genius that he was, just let this walk out the door.
Well, he lost.
He's been in and out of court with this thing.
Yeah, he lost the lawsuit. He had to pay Gaiman the money back. And he had the copyright. The copyright wasn't over yet, and that's what Marvel was waiting on. They said the only thing that they might be waiting on now is Gary Leach, who drew the initial return of Marvel, they thought maybe he had some kind of financial planning, because Leitch got a little annoyed about the fact that when they were talking about the legal rights, they never mentioned him.
No.
And Leitch was the guy who drew the renewal of Marvel Man. But if they're set, you'll probably see Marvel Man in the middle, or not at the end of 2013.
One of the characters over at Marvel that would fit in real well in a Marvel Man universe is Nemesis over at Marvel Icon. And the Nemesis, the first series came out 2 years ago?
It was last year.
Last year?
It finished. Actually, I think it finished early this year.
That's the anti-Batman, right?
That was the anti-Batman. Yeah, what if Batman was the Joker was the premise.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but when's the next series coming out?
Well, it was solicited to show up in September, and then what we found out was that Steve McNiven said, "Look, I'm drawing the thing, but I don't know if all 4 issues are going to be done just yet. So why don't you push it back?" And so Millar and McNiven said, "Well, why don't we wait? So you're going to see the thing in January. It'll be called Nemesis Returns." Okay. And while they were working on this book, they also set up the deal where the Gray's Joe Carnahan, he's going to write and direct the Nemesis movie. So Millar is in the movie business because he just got hired by Fox to be the official consultant for all their Marvel movies, because Marvel says we can't touch them because you own them and we have our own crap.
Okay.
So. Marvel's Disney, though. How are they going to let Fox do it?
Fox owns the rights to Fantastic Four. Right. Fox owns the rights to X-Men. Marvel has no involvement in it. They don't have to talk to Marvel at all. So they said, well, why don't we bring in somebody who works with comics to do this? And so they did the smart thing and said, why don't we bring in Mark Millar, someone that DC should figure out, and bring somebody in who actually works on stuff, and have them basically overseeing everything that you're doing.
DC Entertainment really should have Mark Millar doing something for them. I mean, fine, granted, he's not going to be doing any work at DC Comics, but DC Entertainment, movie stuff, he can work on that. They really
know how screwed up they are.
And Mark Millar, if anything, is an expert at self-promotion. You know, if Mark Millar gets a hangnail and somebody takes a picture of it, he's posting it on Twitter. He's posting it in Millar World. I mean, on the website. You know.
I'll buy it on eBay.
I'll buy it on eBay.
Okay. Last story we've got when Marvel did Age of Heroes. They did the point one thing last year. Which set up Age of Heroes. Marvel set up Age of Heroes with a .1 one-shot, which was $5.99, which sort of went over like a lead turd. But Marvel did one, and they've got another one coming out for Marvel Now. Okay, which is also going to be a .1. This one, though, is going to have a little bit of a saucier ad push behind it.
Well, the main person featured on the cover will be Nick Fury Jr. They've already announced you're going to have Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness doing Nova. You're going to find out exactly what Nick Spencer's doing. And the .1 one-shot, before it comes out, Marvel bought TV ads. So they're going to be advertising this .1 one-shot on TV.
What?
Yes. Well, sci-fi, you figure... Sci-fi.
Was it Disney Channel or Sci-Fi?
It was probably Disney Channel, Spike, Sci-fi. Okay. Anywhere where you figure a comic fan would be tuning it in, they're buying TV ads to let you know this thing's coming.
So that's coming. Watch for it.
Hey, comic book. You know the worst thing about lead turds?
What?
They don't flush.
They don't?
No.
They bounce around a lot, though. They bounce
around a lot. They just lay there at the bottom of the bowl.
They bounce around a lot inside the bowl, but they don't go in. That's it. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. We've got no more Marvel news. But go to the store's website. Check out all the Marvel news this man sends me.
I will. If I only knew where it was.
Bo!
Sarah knows where all this stuff is. Sarah, tell everyone. Be nice about it, too.
Maybe you AARP or should try Ginkgo biloba. www.myalternatereality.com.
So go to the store's website, check out all his news, and until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And this is Bo.
Saying...
.1 coming!
Ta.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.